Hey guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and I am here with a get ready with me and channel update and where have I been and all that good stuff. And I thought I would put on some makeup, chit chat with you guys a little bit, and answer some of the questions you guys have had in a get ready. Okay, let me start over. I asked you guys a while ago, a couple of times, to ask me questions on my community tab, and you guys came through and you asked some questions. So today I'm going to put on makeup, I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to answer the questions to the best of my ability because I figure I've been away for so long, and yeah, I need to maybe explain myself a little bit, even though it's not really that exciting at all. I don't know that I'll be telling you all the products that I'm using, and I do have a mirror down here, so if I'm not staring at the viewfinder or at the camera, that's why. And then over here I have all the questions, so bear with me. I'm a little bit blind if I am not wearing my glasses, so yeah, it might be a little bit tough at times. I just thought I would, like I said, come on and talk to you guys about where I've been, what's been going on, and there really hasn't been anything going on, you guys. I just have not wanted to film. I've not felt like doing all the things like putting on makeup. I have been knitting, crocheting, crafting. I've done some things with friends and family. It's been wonderful. So, you know, it's not anything bad. I just have been spending, this is where I put everything over here when I'm done using it, so it's not cluttering up the table down here. But, you know, I've just not been filming. I've not been wearing a ton of makeup. I have just kind of been enjoying a slower pace and, you know, and it's been wonderful. Trying to open my eye patches. Therefore, I don't really have a ton as far as updates for Project Panning, but I am going to start updating you guys more on that. I miss filming. I have missed filming. I've missed putting on makeup. These are going to slide all over the place. These little Esfolio eye patches. Wait till you see. They slide all the way down my face. They're super juicy. And by the way, I would not buy eye patches again. I wouldn't. I don't need to. I don't need them. They don't need me. There we go. See? And I just put them on however. I know sometimes people put the small part out there, the big part out, you know, whatever. I just put them on however. It doesn't really matter. They fit my eyes pretty much the same way, however I put them on. But I always put these on before I put on my makeup, just to give my eyes a little bit extra zhuzh as far as like hydration goes. Yeah, I just put on some base and my computer is going to shut off on me very easily. Yeah, so like I said, I just wanted to come on and say hello and let you guys know what I was up to. I have been making quite a few charity blankets and shawls for different events. And let me talk a little bit about my channel. See, these are going to slide all over the place. Let me talk a little bit about my channel, and just to, you know, be totally transparent with you guys. I started this channel 4 years ago, 4 and some odd months ago, because I needed an outlet. I needed more of a creative outlet. I needed to start using the makeup I was buying, and these are not going to work for me. They need to come off. And I had found Project Panning, and I really loved watching everybody and watching their videos. And the first couple of people that I found were Paula from A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It, Jessica Lee, Kelly Gooch, and Sarah Rose. They were a few of the ones that I found almost immediately, and I really enjoyed their content. And then I slowly found more panners, the group of friends that I have now. are among some of them. And it just became a really nice place to be, nice people to connect with. I still find that. I still find that some of my best friends are people that I met through panning, and I couldn't be more thrilled with that. And then I started getting into deciding that, well, maybe I want to, instead of just doing panning, maybe I want to incorporate some of my crafts and books and stuff like that. But what I found was that by talking about books, it started to feel like my job. Because if you don't know, I am a high school English teacher, and I talk about books. I talk about what did the author mean when they wrote this, and all those things that you associate with high school English. I talk about that every day. I analyze books. I don't want to do that in my fun life. So for me, doing some of the book content, I decided, you know what, I don't want to do that. It feels more like a job. And I really was struggling to put out that content. Now, crafting, on the other hand, something that just comes very natural to me. And I really enjoy the, actually, I'm going to brush these down. I really enjoy the showing off of my crafts. My crafts like crocheting and cross stitch and knitting bring me so much joy, and really it's where I feel like I shine. My talents are there. I feel like I'm really good at those crafts, and it brings me joy to be able to create things, especially for other people. So when I have somebody that asks me to make something for a benefit, or I have somebody that asks me to make something for them because they really, wanted a shawl or wanted a blanket, it totally makes me happy to do that. And I don't mind sharing that stuff with you either, guys. I don't know if you can hear her, but you know who, our little mascot is snoring under this desk, and she is a super loud snorer. So might be able to hear her. Whenever I Marco Polo with my friends, if she's in the background snoring, they're like, oh my God, we heard Rosie. You can always hear Rosie. So anyway, I think what I decided to do was not do any more book content, but occasionally do some crafting content and show you guys what I'm up to in that area. I also am a part of a paper crafting group that occasionally I do things with them. So like when I did the altered journal and I showed you how I took the composition book and I made it into a little journal, I filmed that process, and there are hopefully going to be more videos to come with that. And that was really fun. But I think my main thing now is deciding what I want to do as far as makeup. I really still love using my makeup. However, I have way too much for one person, especially one person who doesn't wear makeup all the time. And I'm not saying that I want to have a minimal collection to the sense that I have everything and it fits all in one little bag. But the way I'm feeling lately is I would rather declutter a lot of my collection and give it to people, students, whoever that I know will use it and I know will love it and it won't go bad. So that's where I'm at with that piece. I feel like I really want my collection to be stuff that I'm wearing, that I know I can pan, that I can use in a reasonable amount of time. So I think what I decided I'm going to do about that is, while I am doing my inventory, I'm also going to do a declutter. And some categories may be majorly decluttered and some may not be, and just a few things. People say, well, you're wasting it. You're throwing it away. You're giving it away. You spent your money, and now you're just going to get rid of it. And I'm like, the way I look at it is I already spent the money. So whether it sits in a drawer and wastes away because I'm not using it, or I give it to somebody else, I still spent that money, right? So I'd rather give it to somebody else. And I learned my lesson, right? I'm not doing that anymore. I am going to go back and do a video talking about the things that I bought, whether I still have them or not and whatever. But I want to get my inventories done yet. And I just haven't been filming. I haven't been doing it. So you know, that's something that I really want to take the time to work on. My inventory and getting that up for you guys soon so that I can do those videos reflecting back on past purchases and whether I still use this stuff and like this stuff. But so that's kind of the direction my channel's going in. Less panning content in the sense of like, I'm going to do all these panning projects like I used to do. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do some. I still love panning, and it's really fun for me when I do my makeup. I really love to have focus. And I don't think a makeup basket is for me because I don't get through, you know, I don't switch out I wouldn't be switching out my makeup on a monthly basis. But having a group of items to pan and going from there, to me, that sounds like really fun. So let me get into the questions that were asked. I'm not going to call anybody out and say who asked the questions because I'm not really sure if they would want their names out there. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to use today too, though. I am going to use my Gimme Glow shadows. I have not used these in forever, and I am super excited to use them. And I think I'm going to go in a green direction today. I just love green. So the first question was, if you ever had to work again, if you never had to work again and money was no object, what craft would you hyper focus on and why? Now that one's really hard for me because I love cross stitch, I love crochet, and I love knitting. But I think that if I did not have to work again and I could hyper focus on one craft, it would be my yarn related crafts for sure. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't ever work on cross stitch, right? But if I had to like do one over the other, like the majority of my time, it would be my knit and crochet. And the reason for that is because I can still watch TV or a movie when I knit and crochet. When I'm cross stitching, my eyes are hyper focused on that project and I can't look up enough to pay attention to a show, to talk to a friend. And for me, knitting and crochet is more portable because when I cross stitch, I have to have a light. I have to have my little lap stand because it helps me better have access to my stitching and see the small holes in the fabric. So that is my answer. I would hyper focus on my knitting and crochet. Something about the process of doing those two crafts is just, like I said, it brings me joy. Plus those that's the way that I do my charity work through the knit and crochet. I donate blankets to dogs that have been adopted. I donate blankets and shawls to benefits for people to raffle off. And I really, really enjoy that. So I think that if I wasn't able to do that, I would be losing a piece of myself and it would be sad for me. So that's my answer on that one. The next question was, oh, hey, Rosie, did you always want to be a teacher? If you weren't a teacher, what field would you want to be in? So no, I did not always want to be a teacher. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I always liked the idea of teaching. When I was younger, my sister and I would play, and we would play, and I was the teacher, and she was usually the student because I was the bossy older one. Or we would play, and I would be a librarian. But the first field that I ever wanted to go into was physical therapy. And actually, I started off going to school for physical therapy. These greens are flipping intense. I know this is a little scary right now, but it'll chill. You just wait. So the first field that I wanted to go into was physical therapy. And I actually did hours volunteering for physical therapy when I was in high school. And then I did go to college for the first 2 years for physical therapy. So I have a lot of science background for my undergrad. And yeah, so I took 2 years of undergrad sciences, and then I ended up failing organic chemistry. Oh my gosh, that was awful. And then I said to myself, this is not working out. You need to do something else. And I thought, you've always wanted to be an English, you love reading. You thought you might want to be a teacher. What about teaching English? And I went to college up in Buffalo. First, I started off at Damon College, and then I ended up transferring to Buffalo State College and did my undergrad teaching degree there. That was the best move I could have made. I found my passion for sure. I love teaching. I love the good, the bad, the ugly. I also think I'm good at it. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like, okay, she's being quite high on herself for saying she thinks she's good at something. You know, people aren't always, people don't usually say they're good at something, but I do. I think I'm good at it. I've been doing it for 23, almost 24 years. And I really feel for the most part, I have a good relationship with my students. I feel like they learn, and for the most part, they don't mind my class. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong on that, and they're screaming, no, we hate your class, and I'm just like silly for thinking it. But I just really enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the light bulb go off in the kids' eyes when they get it. I enjoy when they end up liking a book and we can talk about it. Like right now, we're reading The Giver, and it seems like they're enjoying it for the most part. We have conversations. They have questions. You know, kids don't really show a lot of excitement for things. And when they actually show a little bit of excitement and they like something, it makes me really excited. And I'm seeing that. I also like helping them grow and like turn into what I call like, you know, real live human beings. Being a teenager is super hard, and I feel like the more people kids have on their sides, the better. And you know, I hope I'm a good role model for them, and I hope that, you know, even if they don't love English, they don't mind being in my class, and they know that I'm there for them, and I'm like their cheerleader. You know, that's super important to me. So yeah, so did you always want to be a teacher? Nope. And I mean, yes and no. If you weren't a teacher, what field would you be in? I think I always said that I would love to own a craft space. Not necessarily for like a store where people come in and shop, but like a space where people could come in and like leave their materials and have like lockers and like really nice tables and lighting and like couches and place for people to be in a space where they can craft and enjoy themselves. That's what I would really love. I would love people to have a space to do the kind of crafts that they love. And I feel like that's lacking in some areas. People are like, oh, I don't have a place to go where there's people that do crafts. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm kind of in that situation here. But also some people say they don't have spaces at home. And I would love to have a space for people to come. So I think that would be like the thing I would like to do. I also think that I would love to be a person who gets all these books to review and gets paid to do book reviews online, and I can just like sit home and read all the time. That would be fun too. Not gonna happen, but it would be fun. So, okay, next question. Hi, Rosie. How are you doing? And how is school going so far? This was asked back in like October. But I'll give you my answer anyway. School's tough. School is tough. Kids are tough. Parents are tough. Society's tough. School's hard. Teaching is hard. I'm not complaining. I love my job. I'm like, there's a reason we get summers off. We need it to decompress. I feel like I think about school and kids 24/7. I am a person who gets very easily stimulated. So when I come home at night, and that's part of the reason I haven't been filming, when I come home at night, I want to veg. I need to turn everything off because I just can't do people anymore. I'm tired. I'm like, wow, that wore me out. It took a lot out of me. And it's tough, you know, very rewarding. But there's always some sort of battle to fight. There's always something going on with a kid that they need a little bit of TLC. There's always this kid that needs that, and this kid that needs that, and this one that's Editing Kim here. Hi. I think what I'm just trying to say is that it is definitely emotionally draining. Um, Not in a bad way. It's that's just a fact. There's so many different factors that come into decision making and being all day long that it just gets tiring. That's all. Having a hard time, and this one thought this that you were doing, and this one doesn't want to do their work today, and another one doesn't want to do their work tomorrow, and they don't get it, they don't know what you're doing. And then, but then there's other kids that every day are just like good morning and happy, and it's interesting. Teaching is definitely not for everybody, but I think it's for me. um don't get me wrong, there's days where I'm like, oh my God, oh my gosh, what am I doing today? But for the most part, I know I'm probably scaring you guys with what I'm doing to my face right now, but don't worry, it'll all work out, I promise. But in the end, I love what I do. I've said that numerous times. And, and it's hard also, like having to teach curriculum that you necessarily didn't pick out, feeling like you're not doing a great job, or even knowing sometimes that you're not doing a great job, but there's nothing you can do about it and you're doing the best you can. That, I think, is the hardest thing for me to wrestle with. If I feel like I'm not doing a great job, like, how do I get better? What can I do to, do my best? So I think that is, that's how the school year is going. It's going. I'm surviving. I wish I was thriving a little bit more, but I'm not always going to thrive, right? You're not always going to thrive in your position. Sometimes you're going to flounder. Sometimes it's going to be harder than other times. And this year, especially mentally, my year is going a lot better. I feel like I'm in a great space mental health wise, but I feel like, as far as curriculum and job and just not knowing what's coming next that we're going to have to do, that maybe isn't even anything that we're doing for kids that minute, it's difficult. So just trying to do my best, right? Like all of us, I think all of us that are teaching are like, we're just trying to do our best and navigate. And there's so many different things that come up day to day that we don't know are going to come up, right? Because kids come in every day with different things and different issues and whatever. So you just do the best you can, and just continue to have like a positive attitude. I have to say that there's not been many days in my career that I've gone in or woke up in the morning and been like, I don't want to go to school because I hate my job. Now, have I woken up and say I don't want to go to school because I'm tired today? Of course. But like, I feel like I'm very lucky in the sense that that has not happened to me, where I've been like, yep, I hate my job today, but I gotta go. I don't know, I'm lucky. Where have you been? Channel changes. I just addressed that. I just addressed where I was, and what kind of things I'm going to do differently or continue doing or whatever. So if you guys have anything that you really would like me to do, or not do, then let me know. I'm open to hearing. You have been such a supportive audience to me ever since I started this channel. I hear people talk about negativity and hearing negative comments and getting negative comments. And I'm like, geez, I'm lucky. My subscribers are awesome. Like, nobody's mean to me. Thank you. But I feel like I try to keep things like pretty positive over here. So, this is that Rose Ink foundation. It's since been discontinued, and that makes me very sad. Okay, so I did my underpainting, and I really like doing that because I can still see things through, but it's not necessarily like bam in your face, and the foundation is light enough that I really enjoy the way it looks. I'm just gonna do some brow gel. This is a colored brow gel. I go over it with a clear one after. Ooh, that's a little dark. I don't have like my favorite lighting when I do my makeup this way, but that's okay. All right, so next is, how do you feel about teaching these days? I'm a teacher too and would love to compare notes. Well, Jen, I will definitely compare notes with you if you want. We could definitely have a little convo on the side. Like I said, teaching is hard. You know, it's not for everybody. It definitely is something that you have to really want to do in order to do it. You know, if you think you're just going to go into it so you get summers off, that's not the best way to go about it. Because it's hard. I'm going to do some powder. That's why I got my MAC Fix Plus. But again, I'm not complaining. I do love my job. But if you're a teacher, you know, your brain never shuts off, right? You're making decisions not 24/7, but you're making decisions like all day long, and you're tired by the end of the day. I mean, everybody's tired by the end of their work day, right? I'm always curious as to like, I wish I could like do a day in somebody else's job, just because I always wonder what other jobs are like. Like I know what mine is like. I walk in at 7:45. I have to be awake and on, and kids are in my face right away, and be pleasant, and no matter what, right? Probably they would say I'm not always pleasant, and that's okay because I'm probably not always pleasant. But what are you gonna do? Okay. What is your favorite thing about being a teacher? The kids, they can be so funny, and goofy and just silly. And then when they get it, it's just so awesome when they talk to you about their interests and they confide in you, even if it's nothing serious, but they're just explaining what they like or why they like it. When they come up and want to talk about a book with me or share something about what they did on the weekend, or even if they just are like, I got my work in, see you later. And, they just come in and they're proud of themselves for getting something done. That makes my heart like super happy. I love when I finally can, like, I say break a kid, and when I say that I mean like get them to realize like it's just, even if they're not a fan and they don't want to be there, like it's a means to an end. You need the course to graduate, and then they're like, okay, fine, and they just do it. It's like, yes, I got this one, That's like my favorite thing, is just like, well, excuse me, getting through to the kids, and also, letting them know that like English is not the end all be all of life, right? Sometimes I think as teachers, we forget that like what we do is not as important to the kids as it is to us, Like we take ourselves a little too seriously sometimes. I think sometimes I think I take myself too seriously, and I'm like, okay, chill out. It's not as important to them as it is to you. And I have to remember they're kids, right? They're kids. And while, I've been doing this for 23 years over and over again, I have to forget that this is their first time taking the course, completing the material. And they need my patience. They need me to help them explain it. They need me to explain to them why it has real world importance. I try to tell them knowledge is power. That's all you have is what's up here. Nobody can take that away from you, right? So use it. Use it and keep what you have up here, right? Nobody can take that from you, no matter what you're learning. It could be something as simple as learning how to put on different eyebrows when you're doing your makeup. Nobody can take that information from you. It's all you. Okay. So, next question. If you could say 5 makeup brands, I won't make you choose specific items. That's too hard. What would they be? Probably Ilia. I really love their cream blushes. Elf, I've had a lot of good luck with Elf. Essence is another brand I've had really good luck with. I probably would save, I'm just going off the top of my head, I would save Nomad. I really love their palettes. And I probably would save Natasha Denona because I really like her glam palette. I like her shadows. And they always work for me. Another one is Adriana Nicole Cosmetics. She's an independent makeup brand. I wish she would sponsor me. I love her. I love her stuff. So you should definitely go check her out. Yeah, I think that those are my 5 brands. Thank you for not making me choose products. Okay, last but not least, I gotta do my mascara. Okay, here we go. This is like the question I get asked. I've even gotten asked this in videos. How do you keep track of all your project planning? Notebook, spreadsheet, can you share it a little bit? Yes, both. I do both of those things. So when I'm done with my makeup here, what I'm going to do, and this sounds like it's a lot of work, and I mean, I guess it is, but whatever. I'm going to go to my project planning notebook, and I have a setup for every project. This is for Throwback 30, all the products that I'm using, and I check off. And then if I don't have it in a project, I put it in just a general page, product and uses. So I check off every product that I use. Then I go to my spreadsheets and I have a spreadsheet for each project. This is for my project 10 pan, rolling 10 pan. And in the first column, I have the product and then how much it weighed or how many times I use it by month. So that when I go to film, what I'll do is I'll take this notebook, I'll say, okay, I'm working on my rolling 10 pan project pan. I need to update it. How many times did I use my iconic London bronzer? I mark it down and then I give the information to you. So when I'm filming, I'm talking from my spreadsheet on the computer. This is just my daily notebook, or whenever I wear makeup notebook, that tells me how many times I've worn that product. It's not really hard to keep track of. I mean, I also don't do my makeup every day, so if I did, then maybe it would be a lot harder than I think. And then the other thing that I do is right behind me, right there, is all the makeup that I'm panning. So I pull products out of there to use. And those are the things that I'm panning that I'm going to use when I do my makeup. And then I have drawers that are similar. They're like Alex drawer dupes that I have to my left. And they have all my other products in them. So that's how I organize myself. So if I want to pull a product, I just go over to those drawers and I pull a product from there. I'm not sure that I am a huge fan of this mascara. It's the Lancome Defenicils. Okay, next, let's go to the next question. If you weren't a teacher, what would you do? I already answered that. What is the greatest piece of advice you've ever received? Be yourself. I tried for I'm 47. Well, I'll be 47 in May, so I'm 46. I tried for probably the first 44 years of my life to be who other people thought I should be. And to be who I thought I needed to be. And when I stopped doing that and I started really, truly living for myself, while keeping in mind, of course, that you have to be kind to people and take what other people want into consideration when making decisions, I have been so much more happy. And to be truthful with people, like, no, I don't want to do that because I don't feel like it, or I need a break, or whatever. I don't feel like peopling today. you know, being honest in yourself is so healthy. And then also I think like even when it comes down to like project panning and YouTube and everything, I am just of the mindset like if I don't want to, I'm not going to. I'll be back. You guys know, like if I take a break, I'm so glad you miss me and you want me around, but like I'll be back. You'll get me back. And everybody's been so supportive, and I feel like if I can just be myself and be truthful to who I am, I'm that's when I'm the happiest. And I think that's so important. So I think that's the best advice I ever received. Do you enjoy single life? Yeah, I do enjoy single life actually. I got divorced in 2018 and it was really tough. I did not want to get divorced. I don't think anybody wants to get divorced, right? After a while you might want to get divorced because you know it's the healthiest for your situation. But like nobody gets married saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get divorced someday." So, you know, getting divorced was a real bummer. I definitely didn't want that to happen, but do I enjoy single life? Yeah, and why? Because I've really been able to grow. If I get into another relationship, that person will be getting a better me, and I also will know like what I don't want to settle for and what I don't want in a relationship, and I think that's super important. So yeah, I do. I enjoy my single life, and I enjoy doing what I want to do right now. I'm open to a relationship, but I'm not actively seeking it out. What traveling did you do this summer? I traveled with my family. It was really fun. We went on vacation. I went to a cross-stitch retreat with a friend. We had a great time. I did a lot of things with friends and family this summer, and it was one of the most, I want to say, nourishing summers I've ever had. It was like food for my soul. I just really enjoyed spending time with my loved ones. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all the questions that you guys really asked. I had been saying I'm going to do this for a long time, so I'm really glad that I decided to get on here and do this Get Ready with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm really happy I did this today, and I hope that you guys liked the things I had to say and got to know me a little bit better. Thank you guys so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.